we're never bringing Abrego Garcia back. But in secret filings and sealed filings with the court, they're saying the opposite. They're saying they're working on a diplomatic solution. And the Abrego Garcia lawyers have had enough. And the media has had enough with the secret filings. And the Supreme Court has said that Judge Zinnes needs to get to the bottom of what steps are being taken to facilitate Abrego Garcia's release from an El Salvadoran prison. And we're on, forget about the 120 days or whatever this is of the administration. We're on like day 70 or more of Abrego Garcia being illegally held as a hostage in a El Salvadoran jail. And so we got developments there as courts around the country start to release from ICE detention graduate students for the crime of speaking out and exercising their First Amendment rights. And then we've got the case, the courageous case of Judge Hannah Dugan, Profile and Courage. And it's not what you do when you've been floored and you hit the canvas. It's what you do when you dust yourself off and dust yourself off at the next punch you throw. And so Hannah Dugan was indicted for the BS made up crime of administering justice in her courtroom as a state court judge in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. But she's also filed a motion to dismiss. And I'm going to leave the audience a little bit in suspense, but you can leave guesses in the comments tonight. She cited a case as grounds to have her indictment dismissed, and which we're going to go over in detail here. And guess, I'll give you one guess, which Supreme Court case she cited to give herself immunity. I'll spot you a couple of letters. Starts with a T and it ends with a P. And we're going to pick it up there with one of my favorite co-anchors. I almost said the favorite, but then would get mad at me. Karen Freeman-Ignifilo. We're here on the Midas Touch Network, fresh off a win for another podcast. What's the name of that podcast again? The Midas something Brothers Sisters podcast. Yeah, they won Webby of the Year. Holy cow! We'll run some B-roll of them accepting the award down in Lower Manhattan the other day. I'm so proud of them and proud of you, my podcast partner, for all the work that you do inside the podcast studio and in real life. How are you?
I'm good. I'm really happy to be here. A lot going on, trying to keep up with all of the flooding the zone that this president of ours does. I think the strategy is to throw so many things out there. And of course we have to chase them all because they're all criminal, and you kind of forget some of them. You don't notice some of them, or some aren't as bad as others. So you're kind of like, you're numb to it. And you're like, well, how's that so bad? But the grift continues. I just can't get over the airplane and the cryptocurrency scam that he's involved in, and that he claims he's going to save people, the taxpayers' money, by accepting a $400 million plane from the Saudis. Okay, so I want Air Force One. I'm going to save $400 million.
No, from the Qataris.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. From the Qataris. I apologize. I can't even keep track of who's trying to give who
I can't keep
what.
track of the grift and the bribes.
Exactly. The Saudis are the crypto memes, the meme coins. But so the Qataris want to give him a $400 million plane. And this is the very definition of gaslighting, right? Because he'll say, oh, but saving taxpayer dollars. Of course. Why wouldn't I accept this? Instead of spending hundreds of millions of dollars on a plane that Boeing is creating for Air Force One. Or P.S., the cheapest way to do this would be to just use the perfectly good Air Force One that already exists. But no, that's not good enough for him. So he needs a new plane, and he wants to get this $400 million one. But what he doesn't say is it's going to cost more money to retrofit that. First of all, to take it apart piece by piece to make sure that there's no hidden bugs or anything, right? You have to, from an intelligence perspective, figure out that there's no surveillance or anything in there. Also, you have to bomb-proof it. You have to bulletproof it. You have to equip it with all of the various capabilities where he can receive information, transmit information. I mean, it's really a souped up White House in the sky. That's what Air Force One is designed to do. It's designed to be in the air if there's a catastrophic event on the ground. And so that's going to cost more money to taxpayer dollars to retrofit that so that it can serve as Air Force One. And it's not going to be around, it's not going to be ready for Trump's term, but that's okay, because once the taxpayer dollars are spent to retrofit it, he plans on keeping it as his private plane. That's just preposterous. That is outrageous. And it is a scam. It is criminal. The fact that the Qataris are going to have basically own the president. What is he going to, if the Qataris want to do something that's not in the best interest of the United States, he's going to say no to them because but now he's their best friend. I mean, it's stuff like that that is just horrendous. And I don't know which is worse, that or the fact that he is making hundreds of millions. On this trip, he's peddling his crypto, and he's selling access to the White House if you trade in his cryptocurrency. He and his family are making hundreds of millions of dollars. And what do they say? Oh, they were business people before. They're business people now. They're just continuing business people. They're just doing deals that they do. But that is the definition of gaslighting. They are enriching themselves off the back of the presidency, off the back of the United States of America. And I want to see, what are they doing for the United States? What have they done for Americans, for average Americans? Nothing. And so that's what's going on. But we will continue to cover all of the various scams and lawlessness that is going on.
Yeah, he's made for his family upwards of $1 billion since he was elected, primarily through meme currency, through the operation of the World Liberty Financial, which is a liquidity pool marketplace for meme sales. This is his version of, he didn't make enough with Bibles and sneakers and NFTs. Now he's moved on to memes, and it's a great way for you to buy a piece of the presidency. You can't donate as a foreign entity into a campaign donation, but you can buy as much cryptocurrency as Donald Trump's willing to sell you. And then Donald Trump knows through the digital wallets, he knows exactly who's buying and who's basically, this is the influence peddling that we talked about. And if you don't want to do it that way, you can do it by buying stock in a couple of public companies that are closely tied to Donald Trump. He's got DJT, which is his Truth Social, and his sons just created a new American Bitcoin company, a crypto mining company and infrastructure company that's been around since, let me just check my watch, since March of this year, that just went public yesterday.
Wow, that's fast.
With no track record, right? Because because Daddy's in the White House, and Daddy's going to be he's President Crypto. He's going to do everything to bend over backwards, because his goal, as any kleptomaniac, as any fascist dictator before he leaves office, is to walk out with everything he can and make as much money. There was two goals for Donald Trump on full display here in running for the presidency. One was to win, to avoid going to jail. Check. The second one was to make as much money, there are three goals, as possible for his family on the way out, using the leverage of being the president of the United States to create a printing press for him through cryptocurrency and through real estate deals around the country, and other things like taking a $400 million bribe from the Qataris that frankly should have gone to his investors, that are his limited investors in the $5 billion golf course that was just approved by the Qatari government 3 weeks ago. See, that was really a success fee that should have gone to the investors. But Donald Trump figured out a way to do money laundering and tax evasion all at the same time.
Well, he's doing the success fee because, but for the fact that he's president of the United States, none of this would be happening.
That's right.
None of these deals would go through.
Right. 1000%. So he takes the plane, which, as you noted, by the time they're done retrofitting it, it will be late into the 2030s. It will be beyond, he'll barely get to use it for a year, and then it will fly away with him after hundreds of millions of dollars of taxpayer dollars being spent. By the way, the Air Force is taking possession of the new Air Force One. It's supposed to be in 2024, but it looks like it's going to be in 2027 or 2028. It's still going on. So we spent billions of dollars for the new Air Force One. He doesn't want to wait around for it. His Trump Force One is old and decrepit. This is younger. So he wants this, but he'll never get it unless he just decides he's just going to fly with it without having any protection in it, like bomb proofing, being able to operate a nuclear war, those kind of things. Like, have at it. I'm thinking, you want to do that? Go ahead. But so this is the grift. He just wants it, and he wants the title to be transferred to the Trump Foundation. the Library Foundation bought and paid